I'm allergic to myself and my allergies are extreme. Anything that interacts with my body, it affects all my skin.
This was the worst it had ever been.
I literally had to run down the stairs because I could just hear you screaming.
Just smelling some foods around me can be life-threatening. I'm so nervous just to even leave the house.
Is it okay?
A slight smell, but it should be okay.
I'm forced to avoid the majority of foods, and my partner has to restrict her diet too. She sacrificed so much to be with me. I often do feel guilty. I still think to this day that she does too much for me.
Morning. Thank you. Yes,
How's my skin looking?
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get some pictures.
Yeah.
That way. So I'm checking Beth's skin for like anything that's like actively weeping, making sure nothing's open and actively bleeding as well.
I'm allergic to pretty much everything that comes into contact with me. I can come up in hives from something simple, or I could come up in hives just from something that I've never had a reaction before. Doctors have never seen anything like my conditions before. They call me a medical mystery.
When the flare-ups happen, there's not really much I can do to treat it. Unfortunately, I've tried so many different things and nothing really helps.
I woke up one morning when I was 15 years old with a slight rash on my face, and then from there it never went away and it kept coming back. My own emotions, getting too stressed can cause me to have reactions. Products, my body can decide one day it doesn't want to use the same shower gel I've been using for years. I also react a lot to foods, and that's one of my biggest things that affect me. I have massive allergic reactions that can lead to anaphylaxis.
Okay.
Yeah. I pretty much eat the same thing every day.
Bacon roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do bacon roll.
Yeah. The most severe food that I react to is chili and paprika. It could just be from the smell of walking past in a restaurant. It can also be in foods that I've cooked in my own home, which can be more life-threatening because I have no escape. If you were to fry onions around me, fry mushrooms, if you do something that creates a very strong smell in the atmosphere, that triggers me.
I was a bit shocked at first, like I didn't understand how all of this could be an allergy in the way it reacts to her.
When I first started dating Sasha, I kind of expected to just go a separate way because she didn't want to manage it.
I knew my health would affect the relationship massively because it changes her life as well as mine.
I don't even think it was a big sacrifice to get rid of all of the foods that Beth couldn't be around. And I reassured her, like, I'll help you through this, I want to be by your side and I'm not going to leave just because of your health.
Sasha is my full-time carer. She helps me from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed. She has to help me prepare food because I will be so scared that that food is coming to cross-contamination with something and could affect me or send me into anaphylaxis. I have EpiPens in every room of the house. Sasha usually knows where they are. She does everything, and as much as I will try and help her out, she refuses to let me help do some stuff because if I push myself, she knows that will lead to a flare-up.
This was the worst it had ever been. I was screaming. I couldn't control myself.
Yeah, I remember I literally had to run down the stairs because I could just hear you screaming, and then when I walked in, the redness was like spread all over her cheeks and you was just excruciating pain.
Take your mind somewhere else. I know it's hurting, but just try.
I think the only way I can describe it is like having acid thrown in your face. It burns all the time. It's burning right now. When it is at its worst, I can barely get out of bed.
It breaks my heart because she's in so much pain and there is literally nothing I can do other than hold her hand and reassure her that once the pain stops, like, that's the start of the healing process.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay. You know the drill.
Having people come into my house, just free will, doesn't happen because if they walk in with a really strong perfume or a scent on them from previous food they've eaten, that could even trigger an anaphylaxis just from that. So when they come in, I will usually ask them to sanitise the stuff they've got, check their bag, sanitise their hands.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to come in for coffee?
Love a coffee, thank you.
When I first started dating Sasha told me her mum had doubts. She didn't want her to be isolated. She didn't want her to miss out on much. I completely understood that.
I remember when you first brought up all of the concerns and how you thought and perceived Beth's life, like, I was very defensive and I took the protective side.
To be honest, I was resentful with you at first because I thought I didn't get to see Sasha. I really did feel at the very beginning that Sasha was taking on too much.
Yeah, I definitely do have that guilt, and that's always in the back of my mind, that I feel like I've made Sasha miss out on so much of her life.
I still think to this day that she does too much for me. She does. But I wouldn't be where I am right now without her, because I would be so lost.
I don't see like why you should feel guilty, because I know eventually all the stuff that, yeah, I might have missed out on, we'll eventually do that in our own time, and being able to spend it with you is just better than being on my own.
Seeing what you go through and knowing you for so long now, it's now Sasha's happy, and as long as Sasha's happy, I'm happy. They may be like chalk and cheese, but they work. So I'm just glad that they found each other. Mwah. See you later, babe.
Right, EpiPen bag.
When I leave the house, I have to set a lot of precautions. I will never really go somewhere I don't know without planning it first.
In this bag is my emergency bag, what we call it. It's got my EpiPens in, my nose spray and my eye drops, and then have a spare t-shirt just because my body can go through extreme temperature change, and at one point I could be sweating so much I could pass out, so I will need to change clothes.
I just always have to be on edge. When we're out, I have to have eyes in the back of my head almost to make sure the people around us aren't eating, and if they are eating, that it's safe food that Beth can be near. If not, I have to make sure that we can move somewhere safe.
Is it okay?
Yeah, well, a slight smell, but it should be okay. Just shallow breathe.
Sasha's love and support means everything to me. It does. She completely changed my life. She completely changed the way I saw my health and I saw my skin. She made me feel beautiful, and I wouldn't have even posted my first TikTok about my page if it wasn't for her. I realised this is actually what I want to do, and this is where I want to go. I'm so restricted with my life, but turning to social media and being able to get to know people through that way, it made me so much happier, and I've made friends for life now, and I hope one day that I'll be able to meet them properly.
What I love the most about Beth is how strong she really is. The way she fights through every day is inspiring. I love you. I love you.
I hope that people learn and take away from my story that you're perfectly imperfect the way you are. Don't shy away. I want people to know that it's okay to be different and it's okay to be unique.
This is my life now. I wouldn't change it for the world, because I wouldn't have met Sasha. I wouldn't be doing the things I am now. I didn't think that I would ever be somewhere where I felt confident going out with my skin flared. I'm extremely proud. I didn't think I'd be where I am now.